it, blah, blah, blah. And then Haley came over the one day to see Harley, and she's just like, well, I guess we're not having a sleepover anymore. And then, and I kind of knew what that had to do with. And then the next thing, I get a text message last night at like, I don't know, like 7 o'clock at night while I'm at work. I had to cover somebody's shift. About, oh, hey, we're doing it at 10:15. I said, why are we doing it at 10:15? And they're like, Peggy didn't change it. That's what it was set for. I said, no, it wasn't. So she said 6-something o'clock at night. So Peggy's making up her own rules.
Yes, she is. I've been saying that. Nobody wants to listen to me. I have proof all over the goddamn place.
No, I mean, I knew it. I mean, she's a snake.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a piece of garbage.
She's a stupid snake.
She's garbage, and that's one of their best people. So I'm like, oh God, you guys have issues, and that's your best that you have.
That's their best criminal fucking caseworker.
Probably.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just like, okay. But I was really upset with the kids last night.
Are you feeling better today?
I mean, yeah, I do, but I mean, I'm just like, you guys, you can't just, I keep talking about this is not a frat house. I didn't get this place for this to be a frat house.
Right.
So, did you talk to Harley at all?
I tried to, but he didn't really respond.
Like not answer the phone, or just was listening?
He wasn't responding. Like, I tried texting him.
Oh. So, I don't know if Lane talked to him at all, because Lane was trying to cover everything up. He came home to clean the house. He came home to patch things up. I said, I blame you for this, Lane. This is your fault. You're the one that is at fault for this. So, he knows it. He's the one that is giving him all the rides. And I said, I mean, I'm really mad at my son. And I'm like, I can't continue on like this.
Well, Harley needs to be responsible, too. I didn't raise him like that.
Well, he won't speak up to Lane, and I go, Harley, you have to. If you don't want to do something, you just have to say no. But I mean, it's fun. I mean, I get
right. Harley's having fun. He has never lived like that, where he gets to just go out whenever he wants.
And they're only a couple blocks away. Granted, they're only like a mile up the road.
Yeah.
So I mean, that part I don't mind. It's the lateness. They get playing those video games, and they're gone all night long.
Yeah, they lose train of thought.
They do, but you can still come home, set your alarm, come home at a decent hour, and get back on it at the house.
Yeah.
So, like, what are they playing? Or what's going on? So, what are they doing? And I get it. It's a big group of them and stuff like that. But, I mean, still you have
big
to be
groups cause big problems.
It's just about, like, my son's disrespecting me. And, then Harley is kind of following suit.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, they still have control of their own laundry. They have control over their own dishes, and they have control of their side of the rooms.
Right.
And it's a hot fucking mess. And I go, they're like, you don't have to keep coming in here. I go, yeah, the odor.
Boys.
I bought you guys diffusers. I mean, you guys have to wash your socks. I go, put all the clothes in, like, a laundry basket outside of the bedroom, hang up the towels. There's a collection of towels and washcloths. And I'm like, we can't do this. I go, you guys can't live this way when you're single guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've always kind of had problems with Harley picking up his stuff. He started getting better there. I mean, right before they started taking him.
They don't get it, man. How I was raised. I mean, oh my God, my mom.
There's no way we could have a wrapper on the floor.
Not in my
way.
house. I mean, my mom was really strict, and I'm not going crazy like that, because it's just too much for anybody to live like that.
My adopted parents washed fruits and vegetables in bleach water. They soaked them in there for 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah.
That's dumb.
Exactly.
That's poisoning.
That's what I always thought. I thought it was crazy. Okay, so no wrappers on that floor.
Yeah, that's cray. So, yeah, I have a vegetable scrubber that I bought, but I use regular water. Yeah, we don't go psychotic.
No, I don't even seriously like washing my
food. And I smell garbage, it pisses me off. I'm sorry. I have a very sensitive nose. I can smell weed. I can smell anything and everything.
Yeah, so you probably smelled it in the house when you...
Last night I called the cops because on my neighbors. I smelled it in my kitchen,
Oh no.
And I thought it was them at first, and so I said, "You guys, don't lie to me right now. I'm not in a very good mood. I smell something, and I could smell it coming through the wall, though. It was my neighbor, so I went out in the hallway. We're in a non-smoking building. There cannot be any cigarettes, narcotics, drugs in this building.
Yeah.
It's immediate eviction.
Well, at least the boys weren't doing it.
No, they weren't. So I called the police and I said, well, K9's going to be coming out here. So parking lot will probably be checked. And I told them where I thought it was coming from. And I'm telling you what, when I smell weed in my house and I don't smell like a nice scented candle, and then first I smell garbage because they didn't take it out. And then I smell that. I was pissed. I mean, like my chest was tight. I'm like, okay, something's going to give. And I'm telling you what, it's not going to be me. So, yep. So I don't know. I went to sleep after I called the police. And I told them basically if they didn't do something about it, I was going to. And I'm that person that knocks on the door.
Yeah.
So, and I'm like, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh, I do not need to be arguing with anybody on my day off, getting into it. So I'm like, so I went ahead and called, and I said, hey, we're in a non-smoking building, and I said, there's people obviously smoking. It's coming through the walls. I contacted the landlord too. I'm like, I can't deal with this shit. I just can't.
Yeah.
So, and then that's a message to the kids. I am not playing.
Yeah.
They're just like, I go, listen, I'm not even a cop calling, but when my little piece of where I live becomes unpeaceful,
yeah,
somebody's going to answer for it. And the last thing you want, happy wife, happy life, happy mommy. Okay.
Right.
My job has been really stressful. And after that write-up, they're just going to keep trying to write me up, for whatever reason they can. I could be fired and terminated, and I'm like, oh no. We're not even going there with all this crap. So, yeah, I was just... The kids don't get it.
I'll talk to Harley as soon as he,
He's in a good mood. He's happy.
Okay.
But when he comes home, I'm taking him to a prompt care. He woke up with, we've got an acne medicine for his face.
Yeah.
Like good stuff. It's clindamycin. We ordered it from the doctor.
Okay.
Because he started kind of breaking out. So he thought he had like a little pimple on his face.
Uh-huh.
Well, it looked like a boil. He didn't show me until last night, right before bed. And I'm like, I'm not leaving at midnight. So I couldn't get him up this morning until like 11:30, and he got in the shower, and I'm like, did it go down? And because it started to look like it's swelling up his eye a little bit.
It's on his eye?
Yeah, it's on his cheekbone.
Okay.
It's actually on his cheekbone, but I called my cousin. She works for all the hospitals, and she's like, yeah. And I called the doctor, and the doctor wouldn't see him today. So they told me to take him to the prompt care or ER, because either they're going to give him an antibiotic or an IV antibiotic, depending on how his face looks. And right now, they said, is his eye open? I'm like, well, yeah, his eye's functioning fine. But he was complaining that, it was sore. And I'm like,
his eyes are sore, or just his cheekbone?
It looks kind of like a boil.
Okay.
So either they're going to lance it, they're going to diagnose it. You know what I mean? They're just going to diagnose it.
Okay.
So I'm going to wait till after he's done with his visit, because I don't want him to miss out on his visit. You know what I mean? He's pretty excited.
Yeah.
But I did push it back to 12.
Just please make sure that they're not giving him any COVID stuff.
Oh, no. No, he's not going to get vaccinated. You mean like a COVID test?
Or any of that stuff?
No, he's not. I already called OSF. I had to call the different ones to see if they have to have a COVID test, and they don't.
Okay.
So we're just going to go to this OSF prompt care in Washington when he gets back. I told him, we have to do it now, because if that swells up, I have to go through that process through the state. They have to get the prescription. It takes 48 hours to okay it.
What?
Well, yeah. So the other prescription, it took so many days to have it okayed. I finally got the message that it was filled last night, and I'm just like, because Peggy has to okay everything.
Oh no, then you blow Peggy the fuck up, because if she doesn't fucking get on this shit, like right away, please tell me.
the doctor's office called me while she was standing here. That was before Christmas, so that was like, what, the 23rd maybe? And I just got the prescription in last night. So this is something, and I go, listen, I told her this before about the medical card. I said, if anything seriously happens to him and he needs something, I go, this process is taking way too long.
This fucking
So
bitch.
if I take it to the prompt care and there's an issue, then he's going to have to, it's going to be an ER visit, because then they can do, I'll ask him, what I'll probably do is ask him just to do the IV, because at least then we won't have to wait for a prescription. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he says he doesn't like blood, and I don't think he likes needles either, right?
I hope not.
No, I mean, like nobody likes them, but you know, there's some people that will pass out and scared and stuff. So, because he was afraid to try to pop it, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't want to mess with it if it's got a lot of bacteria in it and stuff. If it gets in his eye, you know what I mean?
Yeah, his eyes have been itching him.
Oh, they've been itching.
Oh, I don't know if it was the dog fur or.
Ah. No, he's definitely not allergic to dogs, right? Because you've had him around
That's
dogs.
the
forever.
problem. Like, the twins are seeming to like have allergy problems now with the dogs.
Well, they can. So,
They took him out of my house when they were building up immunities to it.
well, I mean, we can have him allergy tested to see if he's got an allergy with pet dander.
Maybe we should, because.
Yeah,
Maybe we
because
should.
he said he's had it for a couple of days, and he didn't show me. He said he thought it was a pimple, so it was no big deal. Then he showed me last night, and I go, oh man, it's almost the size of like a small cotton ball.
Really?
Yeah, and then it went down. So let's clean it. So we put some alcohol on it, and then I had like some witch hazel, which is an astringent, to see if it was like